Hi guys, welcome. I'm Emily, the Fine Art Medium. In today's video, we are going to be talking about some things that have to do with like cannibalism, drinking people's blood, and stuff like that. So, to start off, I want to give a spoil alert. So, if you want to watch the movie fresh, maybe don't watch this video because I'm going to be giving major spoilers. So, yeah, maybe don't watch this yet until you watch the movie. But so here we go. I'm going to be talking about cannibalism and Satanism and drinking people's blood and shit. And I've been wanting to make this video for weeks, maybe a month or two, since I've actually saw that movie fresh. With Sebastian, I forget what his last name is. He's the guy in the Marvel movies that plays Bucky Barnes in Winter Soldier, and you know what I mean. But yeah, he's a great actor, and he did great in this film. But so we're going to be talking about cannibalism and, you know, what went on in this movie and how it correlates a little bit to the whole Megan Fox and MGK and a bunch of shit, okay? So, let's start off, and I can't play any clips because YouTube's new rules, they'll just can the video and they won't let anybody watch it. But, so here we go. To start off, the movie starts out with this girl. She's getting fed up with dating, so she tries online apps like Tinder and all that shit. It doesn't work out for her. And, you know, while she's looking, she's shopping in the grocery store and she stumbles upon this guy. His name is Steve, right? He is very alluring, like charming, very nice and kind and funny, like everything she's looking for. He checks off all the boxes pretty much. And so they go on a date or two, and then he's like, you know what? You want to do like a weekend getaway? So, boys and girls, women and men, if you don't know this, which I feel like most of you do, but some of the younger generations, you might not understand this. When you're getting into a relationship with someone and you're really, like, new, it is not advisable to go off, you know, in a secluded area, right? Especially a secluded area where there is no, internet or, like, cell service. Not a good. That's a good recipe to get fucking murdered, okay? So, there's that. But, yeah, so he's like, hey, let's do this weekend getaway at this place. And she's very nervous. And she's like, I don't know if I want to do this. But she's like, no, I need a man and I need to, like, stop being so, like, picky and shit. And she pretty much throws out all her, like, all those signs that one would look at when picking out a guy to see if they're, like, not good. Like, she's kind of, like, I don't want to say desperate, but she just gets so frustrated with how her life is that she stops listening to things she should be listening to. Like her best friend who's, like, saying, I don't know about this guy. But yeah. It's always good to have a best friend that looks out for you to tell you when you're doing stupid shit like that. And it's always important to look out for your friends and stuff. But I digress. But anyway, so she agrees to go on this weekend getaway, and she's like, where are you? Well, first or second or third red flag, he kind of wants to blindfold her. That's a no. If someone says that to me, my ass is getting out of the fucking car because I know some bad shit's gonna happen. Like, don't fucking blindfold me. Like, that's fucking weird, dude. Like, no. No. But yeah, so they end up at this house. They're goofing off, having a good time, and she starts to loosen up and isn't as, like, what do you call it? Like, stiff and worried and all that. She starts to mellow out a bit. And then, of course, he drugs her because he drugs her, and she finds herself chained up in, like, this basement level area, right? And that's when everything hits her. She's like, oh, fuck, I fucked up. Like, shit, fuck. Anything you can think of. Like, you fucked up kind of scenario. Like, that's, yeah. She's like, son of a bitch. I knew it. But, I mean, he was very charming. And those are the people you gotta watch because you know what they say, pillar to killer, right? I mean, he wasn't necessarily a pillar of the community, but he was a doctor or a surgeon, right? People think, rich people and someone who's very alluring and very like, I just lost my train of thought. But someone that's very like charming. It's those people you gotta watch, okay? Because they're the ones that, and I'm not gonna say like most of them, but the ones that are serial killers and, rapists and all that shit, that's one characteristic that they all share is because they have that ability to charm people that it kind of tricks them into believing that, oh, they're not capable of anything bad. Well, yeah. So, she's chained up in this area and, she finds out that he's a butcher who butchers humans and keeps them alive though, because you have to have the meat to be fresh, right? You gotta have that shit fresh. And he butchers them to sell them on the black market, like the chunks of human flesh. Yeah, so he sells it on the meat market, and, he gets a lot of money for that. I mean, to be honest, if you're a fucking doctor, you're already making a bank, right? You're making so much bank. Why do you need that? But, anyway. But, so, yeah. He's doing that for the black market people that, like to eat people. And so, he's manipulating her. He's pretty much, so he likes her so much that he tries to manipulate her into wanting to be just like him, which is what he did with his wife. Okay? So he's already like cheating on his wife with this girl. And so she figures that out by the victims that, she learns about in, like, I think it's a book. She gets all these clues. But, like, she can also hear someone talk to her through the wall and, they're just, communicating back and forth. But she learns that she's got to manipulate him back. All right? So the whole cult thing where this ties in, I'm going to lay in on some of the behaviors here. So one thing that cult members and leaders like to do is they obviously like to go after people that are very impressionable and very easily like manipulated. And so they tend to go after younger females or those who have a hard time fitting in. So teens, obviously runaways, people that are into drugs, alcohol, stuff like that, because it's easier to manipulate them. And so, I mean, the main actress, Noah, is the character's name in the movie, right? She's, feeling down in the dumps and she's looking for a man, and he sees that. He sees how, like, kind of, she isn't easy at first, but she does sleep with him pretty fucking quick. And he's like, yeah, I got a shot with this chick. And he's able to, like, talk her up, manipulate her, like, getting her to fall in love with him so he can easily just snatch her up. But so, cult leaders like to do that. And I have a little diagram that I will put up in, like, how they kind of work their magic. I don't want to say magic. It's fucked up, but you know what I mean. How they use their tactics to get their victims, especially in a cult. So one thing that they do with her, or what he does with her, is obviously chains her. She kind of almost, I don't want to say he starves her, but kind of. And she also knows what he's trying to do. So it's kind of like a gray area of what's going on there. But so he's manipulating her in a way to where he wants her to be like him, and she knows it, so she fucking goes right into that shit. And one thing that he really wants is for her to also eat human flesh and become like him, like addicted to it. And so that's what happens. Now, when you have satanic cults, it's more I don't want to say black and white, but the torture is heavier because they're trying to get like recruits, okay? For him, for the movie, his main goal was just to sell her slabs of meat to his customers. So because she's manipulating him and he's manipulating her, it's kind of like that. But so the point is, like, in cults, they're gonna go through these different kinds of abuse, right? So starvation, beatings, bloodletting, a coercion to where, like, you get someone that's really tired, right, and you deprive them of sleep, right? Sometimes police officers do that, and it's illegal, but some of them do it. But so depriving them of sleep to pretty much get them out of their mind. So when you want them to do a task, they just do it because they want to be able to eat or sleep. They want to be able to do certain activities, because they're exhausted or hungry, right? And so another form of abuse that some of these cults use is cannibalism or forced sexual favors and stuff. But so, like, what they'll do is they'll keep something away from that person, right? Or they'll beat them, and to get them to stop, they have to do a certain act. Or if they want to sleep, they'll make them do a certain act. Or if they want them to eat, they'll make them do a certain act. So, like, sexual favors or whatever. Cannibalism, blood drinking. You can pretty much figure all that out. And I will leave the article down below in a link, but also, like, snippets of the article of that I'm referring to. But yeah, so that's why I wanted to talk about this just a little bit. And so at the end of the movie, so major spoiler, if you didn't know, like, Satanism, and then you have Baphomet is a major, like, symbol for that. At the end of the movie, they go through, like, how the cannibalism ring keeps going and how there's other butchers selling the meats and stuff. But at the end, there's a plate, and as the meat is pushed off the plate or eaten off the plate or whatever, the blood comes up, and it forms into the symbol of Baphomet. And if that doesn't scream hello, I don't know what does. Because, demons, Baphomet is a demon. A lot of people will just be like, oh no, he's just a spirit. Well, guess what? While, yes, he's a spirit, he's a demonic spirit. And demons are evil, and demons like cannibalism, alright? That's one of their things. They like to rape, murder, eat people, and all that gross shit. Because that's what they do. They're evil. And I don't know how many times I have to, like, tell people this. Or it's hard to explain it because they'll be like, well, how do you know? It's like, me, myself, me. And then I have several friends, right, that have experienced the hell of that entity torturing them, okay? I know quite a few people that have been tortured by that entity, alright? A good, loving, benevolent spirit wouldn't fucking do that. I don't know how else to say it, alright? I know there's, demon worshippers that specifically worship demons. or specifically worship Baphomet, right? And I know he's gonna attack me because that's what he fucking does every time I try to make a video that talks bad about him. But you know what? I'm at the point where I don't give a flying fuck because I know no matter what I fucking do, I'm gonna get attacked anyway. So all I can do is fight back. And honestly, it's just practice for me. For when something eviler comes and tries to fight me. I mean, and not to mention, if it wakes up one fucking person, just one, even if it's just one, I mean, more than one, it would be nice, right? But even if it just saves one person, that's all that really matters to me. Even if I get attacked and assaulted in, more ways than one, if it helps one person, that's all I care about, honestly. I don't care if I get attacked, okay? I don't. I'd rather help some impressionable kid or person who doesn't know what they're doing and save them from that fate. Like, I don't very much care about what happens to me at that point, if that makes sense. Because I know I am strong enough that I can fight back. But anyway, yeah, so I love that the movie uses him as a reference and just shows that, satanic cult, not great, pretty evil, because they use the parallels of, like, serial killer, right, and cannibalism and all that stuff, and they draw that parallel to Satanism. I fucking love that they did that. I love that shit. And if you study serial killers or have any interest in serial killers, it's also a good movie to watch for practice in criminal profiling because you can see what that person, that antagonist is doing and all the red flags. It's a very good movie for that. But so I wanted to now switch it up to the whole Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly, the whole drinking blood thing. Now, many people will cross-reference that with this movie, right? Because the consumption of blood is very similar to the consumption of flesh. But so I was trying to do as much research as I can on this, okay? Because I wanted to get it from the point of view of Megan Fox, all right? And so with all the articles I read, she says that she does it only for specific purposes and rituals, for like full moon and new moon rituals. Well, right off the bat, that tells me she's a witch or a pagan at least. Which is, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Just want to say that. There's nothing wrong with being a pagan or a witch, okay? But so I was trying to find as much information as I could. And the one article that screamed out the loudest to me of where her train of thought was at when doing these rituals. And even in the article, she's like, I read tarot and I meditate and blah, 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 blah. I got this idea from a tarot reading, which, I'm just gonna not say anything with that real quick. But so, from what I understand, from what I've read, okay, I don't claim to be a witch, and I don't know everything all witch or pagan related, okay? So I'm giving you the point of view of Megan Fox. The point of like consuming blood, right, is to make a ritual stronger. And so there is this thing, and I'm going to read verbatim from the article, which is on my phone. So give me 1 second. So this is, and I can't pronounce the person who wrote this article, but again, I will leave it linked down below. So this is what it says. Magical blood bonds between people, because this is what this is, between her and MGK. Another way to practice blood magic in witchcraft is by mixing blood with chosen family. And now she says, realize that it's not possible to break a blood bond afterwards. Thus never create such bond if you are not completely dedicated to it, okay? If you feel the slightest hint of doubt, don't go for it. As stated before, don't cut palms or drink each other's blood because there are much safer ways to create a strong blood bond, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But so the point of this, and because they did it first, I believe first, during the engagement ceremony, because this is all about a blood bond between a person. She wants to make her bond between her and MGK unbreakable, which I don't know anything about that ritual and if it is actually permanent. I don't know. But this is from her point of view. So if she believes that, I understand where she is coming from. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. I do not. Because think about this. People get divorced, people break up. Relationships aren't always permanent, okay? So let's say this blood bond ritual is permanent. Well, if they break up, they're kind of like bonded together forever, right? Why would you want that? And so, A, it's a red flag of how her mind works, but B, how like easy manipulated he is because he just wants to make her happy and do everything she wants. And to me, that kind of feels like she's more the dominant one in the relationship, which there's nothing wrong with who's more dominant, whatnot, but I just feel like from a psychological standpoint, it's not good. And I'm sure you guys can figure that out for yourselves. You know there's something right there. But I don't agree, A, with the consumption of other people's blood because it ain't healthy. What if they got like some blood pathogen disease thing going on and now you just drank it? And yeah, that's not safe. So from a safety standpoint, I don't agree with it. But so it's easy to draw comparisons and like similarities between that and like cannibalism from a Satanist standpoint. And so they are two different kind of things in a way. I don't know what kind of pagan or witch Megan Fox is. I don't know who she worships. I probably should have looked more into that specifically, and maybe I will for a new video. But I think it's very important too, as a lesson, when you're reading tarot cards, right? Know who you're getting your information from, because you can have spirits of any kind, good or evil, like giving you the information. So it's always important to do your cleansing first of your space, of yourself, of your cards, and make sure you are protected and make sure that you're not getting any negative influences giving you like information, because if she's not doing what she needs to be doing, that could be what's going on. It could literally tell her to do I don't know, sacrifice a fucking cat. I don't know. Would she do it? I hope not. But if she's not skilled or knowledgeable in knowing who she's talking to and knowing the difference in vibrations, which something tells me she's not great at knowing that, yeah, that's a problem. And for anybody who is reading tarot, okay, you should always make sure your stuff is cleansed, because you don't want information from any negative entities. And also, depending on the entity, if it's a negative one, it can actually, and even in a psychological standpoint on your own, and plus when you fuse that stuff together, it can cause issues of like being addicted to tarot cards and stuff and finding out answers, kind of like how people become addicted to using Ouija boards. Now, I'm not saying it's the same exact thing, because it's not. But if you have negative entities influencing the card reading and giving you answers, it could potentially be the same thing. So I just wanted to throw that warning there. Typically, when I do my readings, I always do a cleansing before I do it. Now it's time to cleanse my cards, so I have to do that before I do a new one. And then I always have a candle lit, whether it's dragon's blood or a Palo Santo one, or just Palo Santo incense. A positive vibration kind of candle, okay? To keep it going as I'm doing my reading. And my guides always have, like, their way of giving me information, so I know, like, their pattern of things. Now, it's also possible for a negative entity to infiltrate that and know those things and trick you, but so you also have to know the difference in vibration and know or feel if it's good or bad too. So there's a whole lot of things you gotta, like, know with that. So, yeah. That's a lot. I, like, rambled on for so long. And now I'm kind of, like, losing my train of thought now. So, cannibalism, we're going back to that. Not good. And typically, demon-worshipping religions go heavy on that shit. Now, I want to say this. Back in the 80s, Satanic Panic, they did a lot of sacrifices and ritualistic killings and all that stuff. Now remember, that was back then. There may still be some that do it like that now, but with more technology and the update of, certain apps and stuff, their way of getting to people is going to be more progressive, okay? So you have to be careful of their techniques and how to, alter the minds of those impressionable. So social media, okay? Not saying social media is the devil, but like many groups, good and bad, they use social media to gain followers. So like TikTok, witchcraft, paganism, Satanism, all those groups, even Christian and Catholic groups, they're all going to use social media, okay? Not just the bad, but also the good and the in-betweens and the, all sorts of things. But TikTok is one of those forms of social media where it's gaining a lot of popularity. A lot of young, impressionable people are using it, okay? And so, and I've noticed this on my own account, right? I follow certain accounts. I don't typically follow, like, the Satanist ones because, A, they piss me the fuck off. But, I'll notice, like, I like dog videos and, story time videos and stuff, certain things, right? Usually they're positive and funny, right? But here and there, the algorithm will throw in something stupid, like some guy saying, or girl saying, Lucifer's actually really good. And they'll twist the truth. They'll use a lot of half-truths into, like, trying to convince people of a certain thing to be a certain way. And there was one video that just pissed me off, and it was Lucifer, and given his background in the Bible and how he was actually an archangel, which, yeah, that's true. He's Archangel Michael's brother, yeah. But how what he did was actually for mankind and not because he was being selfish. And so they twisted that information and made it like, oh no, but he's actually good. And I, of course, went into the comment section and people were like, oh my god, I had no idea. And like, oh my god, like maybe I'll follow him, or, stupid shit like that. And it's like, bro, like, no, he's evil, okay? No. And they do the same thing with, like, Baphomet and all that stuff, all right? Baphomet is a common one that people try to convince, their viewers that he's good. He's not good. I'm sorry. And I'm always going to say it. He is evil. Evil, okay? Evil. But, so you have to watch with social media because Satanic Panic, I'm sorry, while it happened in the 80s, it's coming back. I'm sorry. They're allowing it in schools. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. So, I don't know if I did talk about this in another video, but you can't be having Satanist, like, clubs in school, okay? That's fucked up. But I will also say this, too. You shouldn't have any religious anything in school, okay? Unless you're going to be fair to all of the religions, right? And you go through all of the world religions. Then I can understand, because now you're using history and anthropology and sociology, like, you're teaching people that stuff. But you're not convincing people to be one thing or another. That's what I will say. They should keep religion out of schools unless it's going to be a class where it talks about all of them. Sorry, not sorry. But yeah, it's not okay to have Satanism as a club in a school. Because I feel like I did this video, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't remember. I'll just list off some few reasons why that's bad. A, they're fucking children, okay? 2, if children are easily, because they don't have their spiritual wall and their defenses built strong yet, they have no way to protect themselves, so you get a fucking demon attachment, good fucking luck, and they're more susceptible to possession, okay? Because they're children. Yeah, problem. Then you have their family, right? You're bringing that home to mom and dad and grandma and grandpa. Yeah, problem. I mean, do I really need to list the reasons why it's fucking bad? I mean, if you don't already know that, and I'm not trying to be egotistical and saying you're stupid if you don't fucking know. I'm trying so hard. Like, I just get so frustrated with this because I don't want people to suffer like I did. I have friends that are suffering currently, and one of their main, I can't think of the word again, but one of their purposes is to break that cycle, and they need to fight past that. And so some of them need to do that, and I can't help. I'm not allowed. Unfortunately, I've actually been stunted by their guides and my guides. And they've literally told me, no, this person needs to do this on their own. They need to learn how to fight back, or it's going to keep continuing. I've had that happen to me, and it's frustrating. But so, the point is, there's a lot of shit going on in today's world, okay? And that movie, Fresh, you guys, pay attention because the Hollywood elite, okay? I believe, this is my opinion, okay? Not necessarily a fact because, and also I want to point this out. I'm sorry, I keep just going on. When doing research on certain entities, it is getting very difficult to find information now. It's like, they don't want us to find that information. And I was talking to a friend about this, and while I was talking to them about this, they were talking about finding information on Baphomet, right? He's hard to find information on. And when I was looking that stuff up, the Knights Templar was referenced a lot, with him being the opposite of the Christian or Catholic God. And so that was like the opposition God of what, they were trying to make him out, like make that, and that's what they named that entity or whatever. But as I was trying to figure that out, I heard, look into the Vatican. And I was like, what do you mean by that? So I gotta be looking into the Vatican. I haven't started yet. There's so much information and resources I need to like find and read. And guys, demonology and learning about like paganism, witchcraft, all this stuff is an ongoing thing. One can never learn too much, and the learning is never ending, okay? And so that's what I always want to say. That's what I always want to say. I am never done learning. I am not smarter than anybody. I don't know more than anybody. It's an ongoing cycle of learning. And yeah, so please don't ever think that I'm trying to be like, I'm better than you, because some people have brought that to my attention that I give off that vibe, and that is not what I'm trying to do, okay? Sometimes my delivery is a little questionable, and I am sorry, but please don't think I'm trying to be, or trying to sound like I am smarter than everybody else. I'm just trying to relay the information and the experiences that I know through my own, experiences, but also my knowledge from all the sources that I have gone through, okay? This is just to relay what I know for other people, so that saves them some time when looking up the sources themselves. And again, I will always put down the sources as much as I can in my description box. But yeah. And so I'm sorry I'm jumping all over the place with this topic, because I know I am. I don't ever script my videos. Maybe I should. Maybe it would be better that way. But I am very, I don't have much time in a day to get through this, and I have to be able to post a video every week, right? With a full-time job, and I just adopted a floofer, and he's a needy motherfucker. And so it's hard to get out these videos. But so I try to do the best that I can in relaying what I have found out. But yeah. And so back to the Hollywood. I'm so sorry, you guys. The Hollywood elite, right? We know shit's going on. We know the Illuminati isn't just fable or myth. We know they're not. And the Freemasons, same thing. Actually, a few months before I started my new office in this area, I started my research on the Freemasons and all that stuff, right? And it actually made it easier for me to identify people who are in the Freemasons. And I was very surprised at how many there are. And I know as you go higher into the rankings and the levels, I think it goes up to 32 or 33 levels in the Freemasons, right? And then when you go up higher than that, I believe, do not quote me on this, I think then we get into even more secret societies like the Illuminati, okay? And I know the Illuminati is tied to the Freemasons somehow. And I know the Illuminati is definitely tied to the Vatican, and the Vatican is also tied to cults like Satanism and all that. Because why would my guides tell me that? Why would my guides, because I was looking up, because my friend and I were talking about the Illuminati and the Freemasons and Baphomet, and I hear, look at the Vatican. I am not kidding. That is what I hear. And so people make jokes, and I do not like to be on Reddit because I know there's a lot of mumbo jumbo conspiracy theories and shit on there. But the joke that Ariana Grande I'm not saying she is or she isn't. I'm just saying what I've seen in stupid threads, right? Yeah. But there is absolutely, without a doubt, some of these Hollywood elites are involved, okay? I know it. I know it. The Epstein thing, right? Yeah. Whether or not he's involved and the whole thing is involved, I do know that negative entities and demonic entities are at work with these people. But so yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. And if you want to do your own research and do your own thing, I highly recommend it. You would be surprised at the information you'll find once you start digging and digging and digging. It's not going to be easy at first because it's not easy to find information. But so I'm just telling you, you guys, and that dream I had that I posted in the video before this one was very alarming with the potential of the elites in the government and what they can do. It's fucking scary. And some of these cults are like their own fucking government. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry if this was like a clusterfuck of a video. I know I was like all over the place, but what do you guys think? Please leave your, thoughts, comments, concerns down below. I am very curious to see what you guys have to say. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a super special awesome day and peace out.